Because people have started filling our survey, and we now want to see how many people have given us data and how can we download our data. So if you go to this data and analysis tab, so it will take some time and then eventually it will give you uh, these results. Now it is saying 1 of 1 of 50. So the total number of questionnaires that you can see is 50 here, but one respondent has given us the answers, although there were 3 attempts because I was previewing it. That's why there are 3 attempts, but there's only one proper responses, and you can see those responses from here. Now, how do we download our data? So we can download our data in Excel. Uh, Make sure you've made your Qualtrics survey. People have given responses to it. And if you come to this data and analysis tab, you will see export or import here. First, you can see how many people have given you data and then export and import. So if you click this and you export your data from here. Now, one very important thing to remember here is, first of all, it is asking you about different types of files. So if you want to directly take it to your SPSS file, you can go with the SPSS kind of data. And if you want to go with CSV file, which is an Excel file, you can by default go with CSV file. But there's one very important thing that you need to remember here is, by default it will give you use choice text as an option, and there's this thing, use numeric values. Now in order to understand this thing, you need to, let me just go back to my questionnaire and see what do we mean by this. So by default, if I come to these options, uh, Qualtrics has already coded this data. Now codes are simply giving numbers to these options. So this, by default, the first option is taken as 1 and the second option is taken as 2, and then if you've got more than 2 options, it'll go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For example, if we go to this option of gender, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 options. We've got 4 options. So this will be coded like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this will be coded as 1, 2, 3, 4. But of course, with this Likert scale, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also code it by yourself, but we'll talk about it in some other video. Now, if we go back to this, and if we go for use choice text and download, you will see that it'll take some time and it'll prepare the file for you. And if you look at this file in a little while, so if you look at your downloaded file and with a little bit formatting from here, you can see all the information, but our information will be starting from our first question, which was our consent question. You can see these options chosen by the respondent, which I just filled by myself. And then you can see these texts. So it is not number, but it is text. And we can also see that only one person has given us the data. And remember, I kept this as unchecked, so there's no data for this question number 21. Let's go back and download another file and see how that file is different from this file. So if we go here again, click this, export data, and this time we will go for use numeric values. So instead of text, we have given it the option of numeric values. Download, and it is preparing it. It'll take a few seconds, and then if we download it and see our Excel file, so this time the Excel file is the same, but with a little difference in how we will look at our options. So instead of strongly agree, disagree, mail, and instead of those textual data, now we have the numerical data with us, which is saying 1, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now you will get the numeric data. So it's important, if you're going to take this data to SPSS, make sure you're downloading the numeric data, and it is easy to use, of course, because otherwise then you'll have to replace the text with numbers, which means you'll have to code it. So you can always download numeric file, which will be helpful for you, and it's a less hassle than if you download the textual file, unless you're interested in knowing what exactly people have written. So if you're conducting some kind of open-ended questionnaire, then text option will be more beneficial. So if your analysis is going to be quantitative, which means you need numbers, you will be downloading the numeric data. But if, of course, you have sometimes open-ended questions where people can write some text, then of course you're going to go with the by default text option to download that data.